Hi everyone, we're going to go over chapter 4, the quadratics chapter. So go ahead and get the completed notes from Canvas, or sorry, the open notes from Canvas so we can go over it together. I have completed one on the right for us, and then I'm going to work the one on the left. So for these, you need to remember when it is in standard form ax squared plus bx plus c, we are looking to find the vertex, and we need negative b over 2a. That will help us find the vertex. Remember, the quadratics look like a big U, so we're just trying to find the center point first. So we're going to take x equals negative 4 over 2 times 1, which is the a. So we're going to have there negative 2, so our vertex starts at negative 2. And to find the y, we're just going to go ahead and plug it in. So go ahead and plug it in there. Negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 plus 6. So we go ahead and we get 4 minus 8 plus 6, that's 10, minus 8, it's 2. So our vertex is at 2. Negative 2 comma positive 2. Then what I want us to do is a t-table. Since this is our y, we're at negative 2 comma 2. You're going to go negative 1 and 0. Plug those values in for x. Plug them back into the top. You should get 3. So here, and then you should get 6. So our quadratic looks like that. And you should see that over here. I was using, I found our vertex to be negative 5 comma 5. And I went ahead and I plugged in 6 and 7, and I found the other 2 points. Let's go ahead and do the one over here. Now this is really easy. This is in vertex form. So the vertex is actually right here. Let me see if I can pull up both. The vertex is here, so I'm going to the right 1 and I'm going up 3. Remember, that's think opposite. So we're going to go to the right 1 and up 3. And then you can think of this kind of as your slope for the next point. So it's up 2 over 1. But the point after that needs to be checked. So we're going to use positive 3 for an x. So I'm going to say, what if x is 3, and what is it for this? So I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to have 2 times, oh, no, sorry, I wrote 8. I don't know why. 3. So I have 3 minus 1 squared plus 3. I'm just plugging it in from there. And I'm getting 3 minus 1 is 2. Squared is 4 times that front 2 plus 3. That's 8 plus 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's going to be way up there. So we're just going to go ahead and curve it to be here. Our domain, just in case you're wondering, is all real numbers, and our range is y is greater than what value? Y is greater than, don't know what happened to my highlighter. Y is greater than this value here. So we're going to go right here. So let's go ahead and plug that in. That's y is greater than 3. Moving on, we're going to do factoring. Now we have 2 different types. We have the basic, then we have the factoring by grouping, and then the big X. So for here, you need to find the GCF. What is the thing they have in common? Well, they have a 3 in common, and they have a w squared in common. That's the thing that we can pull out. So we're going to divide out 3w squared, and we're going to get 4w, just 4 minus 3w. So we've divided that away. Now for factoring by grouping, the front one is going to be this x minus 3, or one of the binomials, but this is going to be the other one, this 9x minus a 1. So you can kind of see that on the right side that it was x plus 3, and then the 7x plus 2 over here. Now for the next one, to find the 2 binomials, we have been doing the big X, and some of you guys do B up here, and some of you do A times C, so it's really up to you. And remember, A is 1, so what 2 numbers multiply to 20 but add to 12? So over here, I just go through the list. 1 times 20, no, that's 21. 2 times 10, yes, that's 12. So it's a 2 and a 10. It's x plus 2 and x plus 10. Those are our two binomials. But now this one doesn't work. I showed you the way over here that I've taught you in class where you do a times c, so 3 times 14. Let me go ahead and plug that in over here. 3 times 14, which is 42. And what adds to 1? Now, 1 has to be positive and negative for them to subtract away to 1. But you can also do it this way. You can do the guess and check method, where you do 3x and x, because those two make this. Then the only two things that make this are a 1 and a 14, or a 2 and a 7. So I need to figure out which ones will merge that way. I think 3 times 14 is going to be too much, and I don't think that's going to help us. So I think it's going to be the 2 or the 7. So let's try 2 and 7. This out here is 21, and this in here is 2, so they don't have a difference of 1. Let's switch the 7 and the 2, so 7 and 2. This is 6, this is 7 through multiplication, so I just need to have a plus 1. So the plus 7 is here with a minus 2 there. This is the guess and check method. If you don't like that method, follow our one for factoring by grouping, and that will work. Now, when you're finding solutions or finding zeros and you see these parentheses, it means set every x that you have equal to 0 and solve. So we have x plus 7 here equals 0, and negative x minus 6 equals 0. So I'm going to solve them both. Minus 7, x equals negative 7, or add x, because I'm going to make x positive, and I get negative 6 equals x. So those are the two values that are x-intercepts for these. Now for the next couple that we have is just complex numbers. We're almost done here. So complex numbers, you need to remember two things. You need to remember that the square root of, that I is the square root of a negative 1, and that I squared is negative 1. So please remember that it's a negative 1. Now, for these, you're going to go ahead and you're going to FOIL. So let's FOIL. Negative 1 times negative 3 is a positive 3. Negative 1 times 3i is negative 3i. Now I do the middles. I times negative 3 is negative 3i. And the last one, I times 3i is positive 3i squared. And this is where you'll be able to see that we have that negative 1. So it's 3 minus, and we can actually merge these together to be negative 6i. And then minus 3, because I'm going to take that 3 and multiply it by a negative 1. These 3's will cancel out, and I'm left with this negative 6i. You can go ahead and check the one on the right. That one's there for you as well to take a look at. You can see we combine the center numbers. We took that negative 16 and made it positive by multiplication of a negative. Now here's the last two. We're adding complex numbers. So for adding and subtracting you do have to distribute the negative. But for adding, you just have to add the like terms. So for here, I'm going to add the 5 and the 2, making 7. And here I'm going to put together the negative 1i and the negative 6i to negative 7i. There's our answer. Our last one here is just completing the square, and it has to do with finding what is the perfect square that would make this, and so what would be that extra number. To find that, you just cut this center one in half. So if I had x plus 2 times x plus 2, I would be adding a 4. If it was here, it would have been x minus 5 squared, and that means a negative 5 times a negative 5 is a 25.